It's a challenging market, but there's still going to be deals out there. Our investment team just closed 4 flips last month. That was 2 house flips and 2 land flips, and it's all about finding the value and then being able to negotiate a price. So whether it's a extremely tough market like we are in now, or it's a really great market like it was a few years ago, there's always a market for buying and selling and investing, and that is kind of what we're going to talk about today. Is how do you find those deals? Well, you can find those deals on the MLS. I believe we talked about them in the last couple of videos, about how we have found deals on the MLS, but we also find deals off the MLS, which we call off-market deals. And those normally allow you to create a better situation for yourself as a buyer. And because normally sellers are trying to trade time or money, I should say, for speed and convenience. And so that is a different strategy and negotiation. We're gonna talk about a deal that we bought back in 2021. Remember, the market was going up quick. So finding stuff on the MLS was hard to get negotiating. So what did we do? We started telling people in our network what it was we were looking for. And my brother Seth, he had been telling people all over the place, hey, we were looking for rental properties. And somebody was like, hey, I actually have somebody that's looking to offload their stuff. They're getting a little bit older. They're looking to, retire and all this other kind of stuff. Perfect avatar for what it is we are looking for. It was the first time I got to negotiate with somebody, and it was the first time that we utilized a little thing called seller financing. And it was fantastic. We only had to put 20% down. So I think we purchased the home for like $150,000, and we ended up having to put 25 grand into it. But out of that 150, we had to put up like 30K as a down payment, and then a few thousand more dollars for our closing costs. So we were like all in at like $33,000 on the closing. They carried the note on the rest. They gave us a 30-year amortization schedule, which is like your standard style loan that most people get these days. But it was with a 2-year balloon. Maybe it was 3, but it was a balloon payment. So what does that mean? Well, hey, you're going to get that loan up until that 2-year mark, and then you're expected to refinance it. So we ended up refinancing. It was a part of the strategy we were using at the time called Burr, which is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and then repeat the process. And so we executed that, and it was really cool because we refinanced that. We got a pretty decent payday back out of it, enough so that same person that did that owner finance with us had another rental property that they were looking to offload. So we took the money out of that investment, put it as a down payment for the next home, and we put that into a seller financing property. So it was a cool little hack that we figured out, and it prevented us from having to get a bank loan right off the rip. Now, fast forward, the interest rate environment was a little worse when we refinanced out, so that was kind of a little tough situation, but we had gotten the property at such a good price point that it was still cash flowing even with the higher interest rates. We actually put it in a pretty high interest rate at the time where you could get something in the 3.5–4% as an investment loan. We were at like a 6%. But it allowed us it freed up a bunch of money, and we didn't have to pay for the money twice. So every time you go to a bank, you're having to pay like lots of fees and things like that to get a loan in place. And so when you can use seller financing, it's a great option for lots of different reasons. And so that is a strategy that we try to employ on different things. We are actually under contract on something right now. It's 9 total units of individual manufactured homes. It's like a neighborhood that we're buying, and we are using a portion of seller financing to get that deal done. We've raised some funds, and we've partnered with some folks to go in and do the rehab, and we're going to actually be selling those individually. While they're currently all one parcel of land, we are looking to individually fix them up and sell them, and so we're doing a big flip project on it. And so seller financing is a fantastic way to get some deals done, but it's not always going to be the case. So what are some other ways that we've used in the past? Well, we've used private money, where we go out and we just tell people what it is that we do. And sometimes they're like, wow, I wish I could do something like that. And then we're saying, well, you could, and here's how. And so we bring them in as a private money lender. Now we are looking to bring a lot of those folks on as private money partners, and we actually give them equity in the deal. So the more we win, the more they win, and they are actually a part of the project at that point in time. But that's evolved over the various things, or over the various times as we've gained more experience in our business, whether that's from starting out with rental properties and Burrs to fix and flips to new construction and all the other various ways. So there's always a market out there. There's always ways to make money in real estate or other asset classes, even when the market seems to be very challenging. So don't let the challenges, stop you from doing what it is you're trying to do. You want to get out there and learn. One of the second deals my business partner Nate and I got into, we lost over $120,000. Most people would have quit, wrapped up everything, and moved on. We didn't let that stop us. We continued to go. We learned. We got better. And now that is just a blip on the radar for us, and we are moving along. We did a whole podcast about it, so you can, hit me up in the comments, and we'll give you the link to that podcast on Bigger Pockets. But challenges are okay. It makes you become more creative on how to put a deal together. That is why creativity is one of our core values at Just Know Your Real Estate that we believe in, because it's never that it can't be done. It's just, ways to get the deal done. So that is a just small little piece of advice there. In a challenging market, we're still able to put deals together. You just have to be more creative, and you definitely need to understand your numbers, rerun them, check them over with other people. And if you want any kind of help looking over a project that you're considering, and you want us to help you evaluate it to see if it's something that you should get into, then you should reach out to us for a free consultation.